My reasons for making the Truth About Vaporizer miniseries. the truth about fuel pre-vaporizers miniseries. So I guess it's the part 3, the reasons behind the first 2 videos, connecting it all together. Honestly, this is the questions you'd have to ask. Is it a real conspiracy theory? Is it a fraud? Is it bullshit? Is it a scam? Or is it something that government would not want to invest in due to the risk factors of pre-vaporized vapor fuel being a massive explosion hazard? Or was it widely accepted at the beginning? Well, seems like it was widely accepted at the beginning, but then it kind of, some people had these massive claims, and they got, and like this guy, you know, and Charlie Chopman was reviewing that mechanic, got that paper from Chevron, and didn't go through. And I know you're saying, look, some people say, look, you know, ever play the game phone call? The game phone call, it doesn't work in a courtroom. But here's the deal for that little argument. Here's a couple counters for that argument. If that was so true, in his case, I'm not saying it's, but see, here's the deal. If that was so true in his case, this guy's case in the video, the guy Charlie Chopman was interviewing, if it were true in his case, we would be using that shit right now, and this wouldn't be a fucking topic. Video wouldn't exist. We'd be using it. And we'd be using it in the computer-controlled carburetors to premix with air at the same ratio as liquid gasoline, or whatnot, based off throttle and all that other shit. Then guess what would we would be doing? It'd be the cleanest goddamn cars around. We wouldn't have a petroleum crisis. The fucking peak oil wouldn't have happened in 2003. Peak oil started. Not saying we're running out of oil for certain. I mean, that's okay. We're saying we will eventually. We've run out of cheap, easy shit to drill, dig for. So, but that's peak oil. That's what it means largely. I mean, there's all other elements of peak oil, but that's one of the big things of peak oil is we've run out of cheaper, easier shit to dig and drill. Seems like it's not physics defying because there's no free energy. I don't know about that high a mileage claim. I don't know about that high of a mileage claim. No, I don't quite know. But I do know there's some truth to it because of the documents I linked in the first 2 videos. And, you know, talking about, in some of the videos, I mean, some of the links I put in the description, like talking about the, you know, the studies that other countries are doing, like, you know, Brazil being the main example, the leading biofuel country in the world. And they're what they're doing. And, you know, that's pretty big. That's a nice little deal. They got it independently powered. They don't need oil, you know, and stuff like that. That's great. But here's the deal. And then when I referenced the channel, link to the channel, GTI Bully, he used to do pre-vaporized ethanol for a little 500-watt generator all the time, and he was showing it on video, doing it live, and he said he got maybe about 10 miles, 10% to 10% plus. From 10% to maybe a little more, and out of miles to the gallon compared to liquid gasoline, and it burned cleaner. He knows that effect. So that technically is pretty fucking big. That's pretty fucking big. That's a good thing. That's because he was running it in his generator. The videos no longer exist because he got gang stalked off of YouTube. Then he was trying to see if he can mix oxyhydrogen into it. But the only realistic approach to it, you can look up the aardvark link, and I'm going to talk about. This is going to be a very fucked up, controversial video for HHO fans. But come on, them HHO shit's kind of a scam. It's riddled with scam. but oxyhydrogen ain't impossible. It's not efficient. But maybe if you did try a few other methods, like you recycled waste heat energy from some source enough to turn it to steam, and then maybe did the high frequency electrolysis using electricity that's set at 22 point something gigahertz, 23 gigahertz, whatever's above the minimum resonant frequency of the water molecule itself, that range, then you will have something to work with. Heck, the electricity can be fucking solar powered if you want. Maybe. March 16th. I'm still getting over that sickness and shit. I'm still getting over that sickness and all that. But anywho, main point being, that some bitches, you know, there's actual evidence to the idea of pre-vaporizing fuel and it burning cleaner and a little more efficient. There's no physics to defy here. You're just using them. You're just trying to take a little more. Recycle some waste heat energy that's not free. It comes out of the engine. It's wasted out of already burning fuel, and you're trying to recycle some of it to an extent to try to get a little more potential energy or chemical energy, more chemical energy in the fuel used. That's not free energy. It's not perpetual motion. It does not violate, because the fuel will still run out, and the heat when it stops being generated, it won't be able to burn quite as cleanly again. So it's not perpetual motion. It's not physics defying, because there's no free energy out of the fucking vacuum of space going into it, or out of the fucking blue. If anything, if there's any free energy, is the waste you're recycling to do the pre-vaporization. So it's not anti-physics if you think about it. It's just the mileage claims are fucking shoddy. To me, what seems like to me, it's a fucking mess. Over-exaggerated claim sound of over-exaggerated claims mixed with conspiracy elements and cover-up elements to an extent, and it's a whole fucking mess. All I know is the U.S. is not experimenting on it like other countries are actually trying to find out shit about it, including Brazil. Documents from 1993 to 2007 with graphs and everything in the preview. You actually got to have an account and have some other requirements to go on that motherfucker to get the PDF files. I can't get the full PDF. You can look at the previews, but that's the best you're gonna fucking do. So that's part 3 of the truth about pre-vaporizers. What does this all mean? This is a jumbled up fucking mess, and I think more research should be done on the concept. Then I seen Tyson Capel's fucking videos, but then again, he said he actually might have gotten almost 200 miles to the gallon. I don't know, but I know he pre-vaporized. Get the charger. He pre-vaporized fuel and ran his vehicle on it. I mean, I've seen Tyson Capel. I've seen Tyson Capel's videos, and he actually doing that shit. And the gasoline is burning cleaner, a little bit cleaner to the pre-vaporizing in his Jeep and such, right? And it increases mileage to an extent, and a bunch of carbon deposits stuff are shooting out the exhaust and coalescing and pooling on the pavement, his driveway and shit. So I've seen that, and I've seen the vehicles he modified with very clunky, very raw, crude, clunky designs of pre-vaporizing. Then I see his push mower pre-vaporizers running on pre-vaporized gasoline. So there's some kind of evidence to it to an extent. I mean, it's being researched in other countries, and the only people doing it in the U.S. are people on YouTube. And I know hydrogen, small amounts of hydrogen could be added to fuel or an oxyhydrogen can be held. In other words, you know, oxygen, put some more little oxygen and hydrogen in small amounts can be added to fuel to enhance combustion. There's documents on it. It's already pre-bottled and all that shit. But oxyhydrogen needs to become more efficient. And the HHO shit just makes it look even worse. And plus, you're putting more stress on the alternator and things like that, and it's just stupid. I wouldn't do it, unless I wanted to decrease my electric load on the alternator, so where it would not take up as much of the, you know, the space that the alternator has, right? So it would be a little free room for the alternator to use this on, still have a little room left over. You know, putting extra bright LEDs, light up your rewiring inside of your vehicle, light up your dashboard, you know, inside of it, you know, it's an older vehicle model, and, you know, just shit like that, and using electrolyte that don't, you know, or recycling heat enough to make steam with it, and then electrolyzing that steam under those high frequencies. That might work, but then you got to look at this. Holy fuck, and it's oxyhydrogen blow-up hazard. Fuck! And that's a biggie, a worrisome deal right there. Because oxyhydrogen is dangerous as shit. It burns at easily 5,000 degrees. Oxyhydrogen torches are fucking hot. Explosions! Frightening, is it not? So you see where I'm getting at. Even if you do figure it out, you do figure the shit out, and figure it out without taking the risk of it blowing up on you, and you don't use physics-defying nonsense, pseudoscience nonsense. What's going to happen to you? And oxyhydrogen. And I'll talk about oxyhydrogen in a future video, but I'm giving you a little preview of it. But what is this vaporizer shit as a whole? It's a big fucking mess. A big, huge fucking mess. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm Wes. Hope you enjoyed this last part of the video. See you around. Rock on. Bid you fucking peace.